unless I missed it, the world has yet to end. Not surprisingly, the Bible has some very helpful information about our ever-looming eve of destruction. And even though it's taken way longer than anyone ever expected, don't relax too much. If God cannot lie, then at some point in the not-too-distant future, the world as we know it will cease to exist. Here's the gist of how it's going to happen. The battle at the end of the world represents Satan's last gasp attempt to defeat Jesus and claim control for himself. This guy is the poster child of relentless sore losers everywhere. Just before all literal hell breaks loose, Satan sets up a puppet government through a minion of his called the Antichrist. I doubt if that's his real name, but you never know. The Antichrist has some really cool powers that amaze everybody. That is, until he tips his hand and walks into the newly rebuilt temple in Jerusalem and claims to be God. Spoiler alert, for this to happen, the temple has to be built on the original temple grounds, which at the moment just happens to be occupied by the Dome of the Rock, a very sacred Muslim site. I have no idea how this is going to happen, but in the future, expect a transfer of ownership. Oh, and this is where the whole Mark of the Beast comes into play. This is a very nasty deal where Satan sets up a system of commerce that controls how everyone buys or sells everything. Which sounds a lot like Amazon, but it's even more insidious. On the plus side, you'll never have to worry again about cash or credit or having your identity stolen. All you have to do is put a mark on your right hand or on your forehead and then swear allegiance forever to the dark side. So it does come with a little baggage. And after all these things happen, you can pretty much kiss your fanny goodbye. If you thought our last pandemic was bad, oh, just wait. This time, literally billions of people are going to be wiped off the face of the earth by earthquakes, plagues, disease, tsunamis, and just plain evil. And you can't blame it on the Christians because somewhere around this time, all the Christians leave the building via a very strange thing called the rapture. This is where Jesus ushers all of his kids off stage in a cosmic Edelweiss moment. To find out what happened to their Christian brothers and sisters, everyone who's left behind will have to read all the Left Behind books, which will be hell for them. Anyway, after all is said and done, Jesus comes back in the clouds on a white horse. For Jews, this will be the coming of their long-awaited Messiah. For Christians, it'll be Jesus' second coming. And for everybody else, it'll be their own personal come-to-Jesus moment. A battle happens, Satan and his minions are defeated, and Jesus goes about setting up the kingdom that he intended all along. Now, I'll admit, most of this is very confusing, but those are the big hunks. We may not understand it all, but when it comes to things like the end of the world or the only requirement to save your soul, it is well worth your time to dive between the covers on this side of grace and see what you need to do before your time comes. Somebody find me a Bible. I need to thump it. Next week, we take a look at Jesus.